On this episode of Elevated and Unapologetic,
a deeper connection with someone is built over time. Like what is meant for me will never, ever, ever pass me. Maybe that is the missing link when it comes to dating. We're scared to be vulnerable. And we're back. Hi. Hello. Welcome. Ooh, we're back. Elevated and Unapologetic. I am your host, Caitlin, and today we're talking all about why dating is so hard. Judging by the title of this podcast, you have tuned in because you are single and dating, or you're curious about maybe getting back in the dating pool. I'm going to be honest, the dating pool has a little pee in it and you have to wade through some shit. And I still haven't found anyone to date, but I have some stories for you. So if you're interested in hearing some stories and my perspective on dating, since I've been single for 6 years, stay tuned. So I really wanted to dive in today and talk about the exhausting yet funny yet traumatic experience that is modern dating, because I've been like on and off the dating apps for what feels like an eternity. And this is the longest that I actually stayed on a dating app. So I joined in September and it's now the end of October and I recently just deleted them. So I stayed on for quite a long time. Usually it's a 24-hour limit and I'm off because it's chaos. It is so strange to be a healed or healing person seeking deeper, meaningful connection on a dating app, because I feel like you're literally window shopping human beings. And that is not something that I want to be doing. I don't really want to window shop for my person. What other option do we have? I have joined groups. I have tried to, go into things that I'm genuinely interested in, because then I might find someone who else is interested in like running or paddleboarding or, books and reading and coffee and food and like all the things. And I still haven't found anyone. There is a specific person that has inspired me to share on this episode, and we're going to call him the spiritual man. And I do believe in having a spiritual awakenings. I believe in, spirit and universe and manifestation and all the things, okay? Why I'm using quotations when talking about spiritual awakening is because I really think that sometimes people put on a mask and say all of the woo-woo things to sound like they have done the work, to gaslight you. No, not gaslight you. To portray an image that is not genuine. It's very disingenuous. And the only way that you can know that this person is not authentic is by having conversations with them. And then you pick up on certain things and you're like, wait, wait, what? And then it's up to you to use your discernment and understand that what this person is saying is like, they're full of shit. They have no idea what's going on. So welcome to the story of the spiritual man, the yoga teacher that I went on a date with one time. So I matched with this man. We get together. We go for a walk. We're talking. Things are flowing. It's 90 minutes, okay? And the time is passing. I am hyper aware of what's going on, how I'm feeling around this man, how he's reacting to certain things that I'm talking about, how he's answering questions. I feel like a first date is an interview. I feel like it is an event. You got to really show up and with your authenticity and show people who you are, right? Like it is your first impression. First impressions seemed great, but there were certain things that he was saying that I was just kind of like pinning for later. Okay. So like, we talked about past relationships, and that past relationship for him was answered quickly, and then he moved forward in a completely different direction. So when I notice those things, it's like, I'm going to pin that and come back to later because something is there and I don't know what it is. So I'm curious about certain things. So the next day we're talking on the phone, we're having this more in-depth conversation, and all of a sudden I'm just like, what in the actual fuck is going on right now? This man was love bombing me like so intensely. And it's so easy to get caught up in the whirlwind because I know I'm great, okay? Why would anybody would be obsessed with me, okay? I know this, but I also know that that's love bombing. So this man is trying to tell me that he's going to name his company like after me, or I inspired the name of his new company that he's going to start. He wants to buy like property, and he's talking and fantasizing about like a future. He's talking about future like travel plans. And I'm thinking, I have no idea who you are. And you don't know me. What is going on right now? And I just felt it was so crazy. So crazy. The unhealed version of myself would have loved this. She would have been like, oh, he gets it. He gets me. He understands what it's like. And he's evolved and healed, and he will be able to help me heal and grow. But because I've done the work and I've stayed by myself for quite some time, I know that it is not someone else's responsibility to heal you, number one. Number two, a deeper connection with someone is built over time. It has taken me 6 years to learn about myself. I do not want someone to come in and feel like they know me out the gate. I want them to take the time to understand and get to know me, because that's the process of dating. It is fun. It is so fun getting to know someone and their nuances and what makes them light up and, what makes them tick and what their hobbies and interests are. I want to get to know someone on that level with time, and I also deserve to have someone want to get to know me with time. So right there, it was 2 days, and I cut it. I blocked and deleted because I told him I'm not interested. Like, thanks, but I'm just not interested. And he responded with, if you'd like to talk or whatever. And I was just like, no, I'm not interested. So I blocked and deleted because I have a feeling this man would not leave me alone. So I talked about like the two versions of myself, right? Like the healed version of me now, and then the unhealed version of me back then. And I want to talk about what the difference is between the two, because the old version of me would have really been enchanted with this man. I would have just swallowed all of that up and been like, this is my person. The healed version of me, though, sees through the fantasy. I see through the illusion. And I wish that I could give people this gift, but it is something that you build on your own. This is something that I talk about in my coaching all the time, because the people that I work with that are single and going out into the world and dating we're having the same conversation that I'm having with you right now. Why is it so hard to find people to just connect with? It's not about a dopamine kick, although you girl loves a good dopamine kick, okay? I do. I absolutely love that high. I love a roller coaster ride, okay? And that's what dopamine is. But I recognize that it's dopamine. When I am initially attracted to someone, like physically, and then they start talking and now I'm attracted to that attraction is the dopamine. But I don't know you. I don't know who you are, because if you all of a sudden are rude to the waiter, or you are saying some things that make no sense, and like just certain things, that attraction will just take you down a couple notches, unfortunately. But that connection can be built, right? Like, I want something sustainable. I want something that's driven by longevity and communication and understanding. And that is not something that you can find on Facebook dating, unfortunately. But if we're going to go back and we're going to talk about the two versions of me, because I'm getting off topic here, the two versions of me, the unhealed version of me loved attention. And it didn't matter where that attention came from or how it came in. I loved attention. And now the healed version of me wants to be seen, understood, respected, valued. And that is so radically different to be in those, like sitting here now as this version. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of who I've become and been able to build over time. But it's only the time that I've given myself to heal that I've been able to get here. My self-worth back then was measured by how attractive I was to someone, man or woman. My self-worth was measured by another. My self-confidence was measured by another. I was outsourcing my confidence in all aspects. And when I stepped back from not desiring, but needing a relationship, like salivating for any attention, when I disconnected from that and I looked within myself, I was able to witness myself. Let me try to dig in on that a little bit deeper. Let me try to explain what that looks like. Accomplishments. Okay. When I would hit a milestone for myself, I would celebrate myself. If I was craving a certain type of meal, I would go and make that meal or buy it for myself. If I desire flowers, if I desire gifts, I would give that to myself. I started loving myself the way that I wanted another person to love me. And while I've been feeding myself this kind of love, I have begun to witness how full I am. And so when I talk about being in partnership and in connection with another person, I'm talking about something completely different than that version of me wanted. She wanted to be fed in that way, where now it's like, I want to be recognized. I want to be understood. I want to be triggered because I can't trigger myself anymore. And relationships trigger you, therefore you can grow and heal. I want more growth. I want more expansion. And I feel like I can't really give that to myself anymore. Am I so happy on my own? Absolutely. Can a platonic person come in and trigger the shit out of you? Absolutely. My best friend triggers me a lot and we work through it. And it's the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. But it's just interesting to reflect and talk to you right now, riffing off the cuff, about how I see relationships now versus the way I used to see them then. It was codependency. It was a need to be uplifted all the time. And that's exhausting for someone to have to sit there and be like, you're worthy, you're pretty, you're like so worthy of all the good things in the world. And it's like, I know I'm worthy of all the good things in the world now. Is it nice to hear? Sure. Is it a necessity? Absolutely not. When the love that I envision for myself comes in with a romantic partner, it is going to be a slow love. Because a healed love moves slower. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Hello, Pinterest board. Oh my gosh. A healed love moves slower. It's grounded. It doesn't rush to label or control or mold or shape. It's smooth, it's soft, it's gentle. How many times have you downloaded a dating app because you're bored? Yeah, me too. Okay, me too, girlfriend. You're not alone. Okay. And I know that it happens out of boredom a lot of the time. And you just start window shopping, see what's out there. However, when you allow yourself to sit in that boredom and not swipe, not doom scroll, and be bored, something shifts within you. There is like, I wouldn't say a light bulb, but there's like little sparks that happen of creativity or curiosity. It's uncomfortable because we're so used to being entertained with these small ass devices that we have in our hands all the time. But when you allow it to be uncomfortable, all of a sudden things start to soften and move in a different way. And I find that relationships get boring, okay? This person isn't always going to give you the entertainment that you desire, because a relationship, a healthy relationship, should be kind of boring. It should be kind of like slow, steady, moving through it. It's boring. That kind of love is boring, and I'm okay with boring now. I was never okay with being bored. I craved chaos because I was in a chaotic state. Internally, I was chaotic. I was going through a divorce. I was healing. I was growing. I was moving. I was creating a new business. There was so much going on that my life was chaotic. Therefore, so were my relationships. It was mirrored back to me in all facets of life until I started to slow the fuck down and realize that it's okay to be bored. Sit in the boredom. I challenge you. This is my challenge. I challenge you to sit in that boredom. I'm not saying forever, but just see how long you sit in that boredom and what comes up for you. This is inner work. This is you doing the work necessary to become the better version of yourself. This is a freebie for you, by the way. This is the shit that I teach in coaching. We're going to talk about what everybody's saying and everybody's thinking. Dating is tough right now. Guys, it is so hard. It is so hard. And I have these conversations in coaching calls, and this is a topic that comes up time and time again. From my perspective, the reason that dating is so hard is because we're looking for deep connection. We're not necessarily looking for the instant gratification that someone can give us. We aren't fearful of vulnerability. We don't run away from being vulnerable or having that. And we're not ashamed to admit that we still have wounds that are unhealed. The point that I want to really drive home is the inauthenticity of other humans will shine through when you find your own. So when you show up with your pain, with your vulnerabilities, and you're dating someone and you're having these deep conversations and you own like your shit, basically, like I wasn't perfect in my last relationship. Here's what I learned though, and this is how I moved through it. That's how you know someone really did the work. Now, if someone does the opposite of that and they're like, well, it fell through and I don't know what she expected from me. Like I did everything I possibly could. Does that sound healed? No. That sounds toxic and you still need time. When I see that in my coaching calls, when I see someone who is sitting in the like blaming game and they're in the victim chair, I like it. I do. I love that for me because now I can call you out and I'll let you sit in the victim chair for a minute or two. And then I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to take you down and we're going to actually look at you. Okay, because you were also an active participant in the relationship. So what did you do for that relationship to fail? You can only grow and heal if you look at yourself. You cannot change the other player. Okay, the other player played their role. There's nothing you can do to change them, but you can change yourself. And so when people come to me for coaching and we're talking about failed relationships, because I talk a lot about that, we talk about the relationship as a whole, but we also have to break it down and talk about why it failed for you. What did you do? How did you show up? Is this how you want to continue to show up? What can you grow and learn from to become the best version of yourself? Who do you want to be? How do you want to move in relationship? How do you want to move in the world? All of those things are really important to ask. And when you're talking to someone who hasn't done the work, you can recognize it right away. And for me personally, because I work in the space that I do, I don't want a client. I do not want to help someone get to the level necessary to be a good partner. I am not trying to yuck someone's yum. I am just speaking from my own personal experience and where I'm headed in relationships. So if this is something that's not resonating with you and you're thinking like all these other things about me right now, maybe ask yourself why. If you're being triggered right now, ask yourself why. Why are you being triggered by what I'm saying? I think that's also an important one. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I know that there's going to be some people who are going to be angry and they're going to be like keyboard gremlins and be like, no. And like all the power to you. But I really think that introspection is really important. We're craving depth, but we're running from the vulnerability. Is that a reflection of how disconnected people have become from themselves? Because people can seek connection before self-awareness. They want to feel loved before they love themselves. And I think that is the perfect example and explanation of the unhealed version of myself that was seeking a relationship. I wanted a deep connection, but I was so afraid of being vulnerable because in that vulnerability is room for someone to judge you, is room for someone to abandon you or reject you, and you take that on as there's something wrong with you. But that rejection is redirection. Did you see that phrase coming? How many times have you heard that on social media? And I truly believe and have embodied that. Like what is meant for me will never, ever, ever pass me. Never. I trust in that. So these, false starts and almosts or little ignitions or, these people that have been in and out of my life throughout the years is not a reflection of my worth and value. The more self-aware you are, the deeper you could have a connection with someone else. These are all questions that I'm asking myself in real time now, because I think that as we're having this conversation, things are kind of going off in my brain. And I'm learning in real time that there is like some parts in there that really do connect and make sense when we are seeking connection. Platonically, but mostly romantically. Because to be truly loved is to be truly seen. But if you don't truly see yourself and you're not self-aware and have done that introspection, then when it comes to you being vulnerable with another, you run from it. Maybe that is the missing link when it comes to dating. We're scared to be vulnerable. Download, delete, repeat. Let's do the cycle all over again. Oh, I know I already touched on this, but this is literally the dating app cycle. Like if my washing machine had a cycle, that's what it would be because it is. Unfortunately, it is. What keeps me going back? If you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, yeah, me too. Okay, what keeps you going back? If you already know that it's a shit show, why do we keep going back? Is it because we have no other option? Is it because we're sitting over here and we're like, okay, but I've tried other things and it's not working. But the dating app didn't work before. So what is the draw? Why do we keep going back to this? Did you answer the question yet? Okay, I'll tell you. It's hope. We're hopeful that maybe that person is out there on that app. Because if I'm on the app, then they must be on the app. He or she is out there. Maybe they got bored and downloaded the app at the same time and we're gonna match and it's gonna be that one time that I'm on there. I'm doing it now, not out of desperation, but out of readiness. I am ready to meet someone. And that hope that maybe he or she just downloaded it the same time that I did, we will match and there will be a spark and there will be a connection there. That alignment can come in at that moment. It's like a magic of the dating app, but it hasn't happened. So I know that it's hard and I know that it's chaotic, but I think that's the driving factor, is the hope that we hear these stories of people who have had success on these dating apps, and that is what keeps us coming back. We're like, maybe this time it'll be different. All right, so we're coming to the end of the episode, and I just want to wrap up by asking you, the audience, some questions, because I think it's important that we have this conversation ongoing in the comment section. I'm so curious as to, why do you think dating is so hard right now? Are you showing up as the version of you that is ready for love, or the version that's still a little afraid of it? Did something spark in this conversation that we've had that has made you rethink yourself and stop blaming, ooh, that's a good question, and stop blaming the dating apps? I'm still blaming them, by the way. I mean, I might be the problem, but I am not the problem. I think that Facebook dating is the problem. When is the last time you went on a date just for fun, not to test the compatibility, not to see if they were the one, but just to connect? Also, dating is for you just as much as it is for the other person. So you're learning about yourself in the process of dating, so have fun with it. I want to leave you with this little Pinterest quote that I'm going to write right now. You're welcome. The right person will not rush your heart. They will match your pace. You are looking for a connection that is sustainable, not one that is driven by a dopamine kick or something to that effect. I feel like those are great Pinterest quotes. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you walked away from this episode with a little bit more understanding of dating. Maybe you laughed. Maybe you rolled your eyes. I don't know, whatever it is. I'm so excited to connect with you in the comment section. If you're listening to this on Spotify, thank you for your love and support. Make sure that you follow. If you're listening on YouTube and watching me, hi, you're so beautiful today. And I hope something good happens to all of you. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, go to my website, download all the things, do all the things, interact, and I will be talking to you very soon. Okay, I'm going to grab my mug. We're going to cheers. We're going to close it out. I love you.